This one is titled Julie Valentine. Back in 1990, Glenn Hayward was walking through a field in Greenville, South Carolina. This field was unfortunately used as an illegal dumping ground, so there was trash everywhere. But Glenn had noticed a bunch of pretty flowers within the field too. It was February 13th, and he decided he was going to pick some of those flowers for his wife. During Glenn's exploration of the field in search of flowers, he came across a bundle of trash that smelled of something horribly rotten. His eyes locked with a Sears vacuum box, and the smell got worse. He approached it, and the smell became almost unbearable. He then opened the box. Now look, I've researched some pretty horrible things, but I honestly think that all of these, in all of these specials that we've done, this might be the worst one. It is one of the most inhumane crimes that I've ever come across.
Well, what was in the box?
Inside the box, there was a newborn girl. Her small body was already decomposing, and she was covered in a blanket and newspaper. Her umbilical cord was still attached, and even the placenta was still inside the box. Glenn called the police, and the baby was taken in for an autopsy. It was discovered that the baby girl was born 5 days before Glenn found her, and she had died 2 days after being born. The coroner had said that the baby was born healthy, and her belly even had traces of food, which meant that she was actually cared for at some point before being put in a box and left in a field. With absolutely no idea who the little baby was or where she came from, she had been given the name Julie Valentine by investigators. The only lead onto who could have been responsible for this was the sighting of a red Pontiac Fiero that had been seen at the site 3 days before Julie was found. But there was no other evidence, and therefore we might never discover who left little Julie Valentine in that field.
Really? They couldn't get like any sort of DNA, like the mother
Not
or
a
anything?
single thing.
Really?
Dude, that's fucked.
So my mind immediately jumps here to either the mom or parents just didn't want the child and got rid of it, or some sadistic fuck killed the kid and the parents, or some sort of that nature. That's fucking insane.
I honestly don't have a theory other than the fact that I think that somebody just put her in a box and just left her in a field just because.
Can't imagine being the one to find that either.
Oh, God.
Dude.
You're traumatized.
Oh, completely.
Absolutely traumatized.
Stuck with that image for the rest of your life.
Yeah. No, that's messed up.
It's like a very wrong place, wrong time type of situation right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one's...
All these people just...
you have to be a garbage human being to do something like that.
Oh, I know. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be absolute scum of the earth for that one.
I can't fathom hurting anything, really. And let alone imagining someone hurting another human.
Yeah,
it's just
the only
crazy.
time I've ever wanted to hurt somebody was when the guy had pads on, and I had to block for my running back. That was about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, that one was sad. We're moving on to the teddy bear incident. For Valentine's Day, you might get your significant other gifts such as flowers, chocolate, or other romantic gifts of that nature. Well, for one, Antonio Salvador. The gift of choice for his girlfriend was a little stuffed teddy bear. And on the evening of Valentine's Day in 2014, the 17-year-old borrowed his mom's car around 6 p.m., and that was pretty much it. His mom, who held Antonio to a strict curfew, just went about her night. That is until Antonio never came home. She called him over and over again, sent him texts every few minutes. Then she finally heard from her son at 4 a.m. Antonio said that he was on his way home. His mother, obviously angered by the delayed response and extremely late outing, was just happy to hear her son's voice. She waited for him, but sadly, he never returned home. In fact, it wasn't even a half hour after his phone call to his mom at 4 a.m. that Antonio crashed his mother's car into a concrete pillar, totaling the vehicle. Police officers arrived at the scene, but while they noticed the destroyed car, there was no sign of Antonio. Only his shoes were left behind. But why were his shoes left behind? Definitely a question. Antonio was filed as a missing person. Search parties were dispatched to help find the young man. This continued until February 27th. On that day, Antonio's body was discovered by a Texas port recycling employee who found Antonio's body trapped underwater beneath a dock near the Houston Ship Channel. The area was off limits to citizens, which is why he was never found by the search parties. The question is, how the hell did Antonio get there? The dock where he was found was 3 kilometers away from the car accident. 3 kilometers, by the way, is kind of fucking far, especially barefoot.
It's like 1.5, almost 2 miles.
Yeah. So the best theory that police have to go on is that Antonio crashed the car, then disoriented, walked to the dock where he fell and then drowned.
He walked.
That's what they say.
No way. No way.
However, that doesn't really add up.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
And there are a few more details that prove that that is not what happened at all.
If you were going to walk, why the hell you take your shoes off?
Exactly. So for starters, he actually never made it to his girlfriend's house that night. So literally, what could he have been doing for that long? And not even be making it like his way home until 4 a.m.
That like a claim by her that she never saw him?
Yeah, never saw him. So
interesting.
And, traffic cameras and things like that. He was never that way. So the teddy bear in question was also found in his pants and in between his legs, just floating there with him in the water. A witness came forward and said that they noticed a black SUV run Antonio's car off the road and into the concrete pillar. So with so many unanswered questions, my personal theory is that he was in some deep shit. And I don't know if it was guys he was working with or working for or whatever, but I believe that some people he pissed off and they came after him.
But why leave his shoes? That's like such a weird thing.
It is weird. I have no idea.
What?
Maybe he was trying to fight and his shoes fell off. Maybe he didn't tie his shoes and like his shoes fell off or something. I don't know.
That's potentially a reason, but yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely strange. You actually might have heard about this one. It's kind of famous. So this is the Rundle family. Potentially the most famous unsolved Valentine's Day mystery of all time. This one actually occurred in Colorado Springs. And us being Colorado natives, especially ones that were kind of always in the Springs, we have to talk about it. So in 1985, Cassandra Rundle, a 37-year-old single mom of 2 children, was sitting at home on Valentine's Day. Her children, 10-year-old Melanie and 12-year-old Derek, were just hanging out. Derek played hockey and actually left to go play hockey somewhere else that morning with his friends. Cassandra was kind of a, how do I put this? It seems as though she liked attention. She was married and divorced twice and actually put out personal ads about wanting to date and find a man, to which she received over 80 responses in the months leading up to Valentine's Day.
80?
If you can put in an ad in a newspaper and get 80 responses in a couple months, shit. Anyway, she actually even met with quite a few of them, but she started keeping in touch with her second ex-husband again. And I will say that's kind of funny because
back to your ex.
I've been on the dating apps and yet I couldn't find anybody that was, somebody I wanted. And so I went back to my exes like 3 times. Anyway, it is interesting how that happens. So,
you go back to comfort. That's what it is, right?
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, on that Valentine's Day in 1985, her second ex-hubby decided he wanted to bring her a gift. The gift in question was a record album. But alas, the only thing he found when he arrived at her home was a crime scene. Cassandra was found lying nude on her bed. She was tied up, raped, and beaten before being strangled to death. Now, if that wasn't horrible enough, 10-year-old Melanie was also found strangled to death on her bed. She had also been raped and her skull was fractured. Apparently, Melanie's room was trashed, showing signs of a major struggle. 12-year-old Derek was also found beaten to death in his room. His hockey stick was found with a lot of blood on it. It is believed that Derek came back home at the time that the murders were happening.
That's crazy.
While it could have been anybody, The theory is that it was a former soldier who was passing through the Springs. His name was Philip E. Wilkinson, who is actually still on death row in North Carolina. The reason he is on death row is not because of these murders. No. In fact, it is because he also murdered a woman and her 2 children in North Carolina in 1992 in very similar ways. But unfortunately, he hasn't been truly connected to the case, so this murder case will likely never be solved. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that conversation and you want to hear more from that episode, be sure to check it out. There's a link at the end of the video.
And be sure to follow us on all our socials and stay tuned for new episodes. We'll see you guys around.